Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to another video. We are exactly where we were stood before, but many things have changed. So I've sorted out a bunch of our inventory stuff. I had a bit of an explore around some of the previous areas, collected some food for Jonker. Let's wait until the morning, shall we? Or just the team in general. A couple of you guys were mentioning in the previous episode, hey, why aren't you feeding guys? Don't let them starve. Well, you know, really, if they're starving, it just cuts away at their regen. And if I'm happy to risk it, I kind of like them starving because it means I can feed that food to Jonker and be really efficient with where I use it. But check it out. So we caught some more fish. I even went back to the original area and just caught some more, killed some turtles for some turtle steak. So we may as well eat these and level Jonker up here. And yeah, we are ready today to progress. Now, I've sort of taken an unexpected twist of events. What do we want to level here? I guess critical a bit more. We're just going like full ham damage. Now, critical is kind of cool, but he won't get much benefit from the perk that you get at level 3, which allows you to backstab people because you need a dagger to backstab, which I'm really not that interested in. Maybe we should go, maybe we should go armor. Let's start working on armor for Jonker. Okay, so this will, every time you put a point into armor, it increases the effectiveness of the protection it gives you. And at level 2, which we'll get very soon, we get a perk where we no longer get this evasion, like, disadvantage from wearing medium armor, which means Jonker's defense is just going to go through the roof. Right now, I find Loto Patho is actually a fair amount tankier than Jonker. He has less health, yes. Oh no, he's got more health. He's so strong, like, he's got a little bit less protection, but more evasion otherwise. He's holding up a lot better, so that's what we're going to do with Jonker there. But yeah, so we've cleaned a bunch of our stuff out with our inventories here. Sannon has also leveled, and for Sannon, we kind of have a very cool decision to make now, which I'm going to let you guys decide. We can decide to spec into some of the other elements if we like, or we can start working on concentration more to give him more energy. Now, I'm going to do this for now, because this also enables him to use various other spells later on. But so we got a perk for that, and it means while we're resting, his energy regeneration rate has gone up, which is good because he's got so much energy now. Stuff like energy potions, they don't actually restore his energy that much. That's why you often see that he's on quite low. But yeah, that's pretty much what's going on with the team. And we have a very cool little thing to show off here. Now, last episode, while we were in the bog, we found this map. It was in a really unlikely spot. It was in the bog dungeon in a chest. And it's just up to us as players to figure out where exactly is this. Now, I've short-sightedly, when I first found it, spent a long time thinking it had something to do with Kill Breach down here. And I thought, hey, maybe it's something to do with, like, around the river. Well, if you really look at it, it's somewhere we're stood right now. Now, what can we identify here? We can identify some kind of a pyramid-shaped rock, some kind of either river or wall, and we've got 2 rocks and a bush. Well, if we have a little bit of a look around here, what are we kind of stood next to? 2 rocks and a bush, and there's some kind of a wall here as well. Turns out what we're actually looking at is the castle. We've got kind of a bridge nearby, and so what does this mean? It means in front of this rock that we're currently stood at, in theory, is a treasure. I find it so thrilling in this game when you find treasures just from looking at maps like this. And it actually works. Check it out. Brilliant. So this is actually technically the last secret in this map, in the Forgotten River. There are secrets. There's still a secret we haven't collected in Twigroot Forest and all sorts of stuff. But here for this forest, this chest was the last thing we could have dug up straight away. Now remember, while we were grabbing stuff here, we were getting stuff like the reed armor. And here you'll, I actually thought we were going to get some rogue armor here. We were also collecting rogue armor at that time. But here we'll find some shuriken, which we don't care about. But we'll find the end of the reed armor set. So check it out. Ticker can equip those, dump those boots. The flavor text here are that these sabatons are thick and durable, but almost as comfortable to wear as a pair of loafers. Lovely. More protection for him, more evasion for him. You know, he doesn't even have the benefit of light armor proficiency, but he's almost out of the negative evasion. It's kind of ridiculous, just because of this reed armor. So very fun stuff. And also he got some cheese. So this is the first time in the series we're actually going to give the racial specific food to one of our characters. And here you'll notice Tikrit got a random buff there because that was the third bit of cheese he'd eaten, I guess. So there we go. We've got Tikrit gains strength +1. And that happened on my test file too, so I guess the RNG on that, on what stat that ends up getting buffed, is actually determined, I don't know, I guess when you make the character, you can't just keep saving and reloading until you see that you get the correct thing. So what are we doing? Well, we're enjoying the outside, and do enjoy the outside, guys. Maybe I could have paced things a little bit differently, but we haven't been underground for a long time. I described the Twigroot Forest dungeon as sort of a medium to large size dungeon. Well, okay, no, it's a medium-sized dungeon. Well, now we're pretty much going to go into a large dungeon. I told you guys we were going to go to the ruins of Desirune. I've decided not to do that. Well, you might be asking, Wooden Potatoes, what the hell? What do you mean we're not going to do that? It's the only place we can go. Is it? We've been finding various clues. Now, there might be a more explicit clue somewhere deep in the ruins of Desireen for us, but we have been finding various clues talking about snakes and all kinds of weird stuff, right? You'll remember in the bog we found the serpent stuff, and it just kind of makes sense to me. Let's reread this note. This was what I tried anyway. It says, "Dear visitor, unfortunately the gate to the Great Pyramid was locked a long time ago with a strange kind of key. I'm afraid the key might be unrecoverable now." It doesn't really help us at all, but I tried this anyway, and it works. If you hold right click, fire the poison bolt at the door, you can actually gain entrance to the Pyramid of Umus. So I don't think we're going to be totally underleveled to do this, but we might be a little. When I was playing my test files to sort of play ahead to see what was going on with the game and stuff, I was planning on playing the Ruins of Desireen, and I got totally distracted by the fact that we could enter the pyramid. So that's what we're going to do today, guys. Say goodbye to the sunshine. We might come back out, actually, if I need to save crystal nearby, the one near the cemetery. But say goodbye for a while. We're going in. And interestingly, we're not going underground, are we? Really, we're working our way up the pyramid. So our torch burnt out straight away. That's a great start. Here we go. Let's begin. So this place is really creepy. I'll tell you, I was playing this game. My internet cut out at some point last night. And it's like, what do you do when you have no internet? It's funny how much of my life revolves around needing internet. And so I realized the only thing I really could do was play some Grimrock. So it was the dead of night. No internet, completely cut off. I was in this dark room, and I was playing in this pyramid, and it freaked me the hell out. The ambience in here is ridiculous. I might not edit in any of my own here, just so you guys get a feel for it. But here we go. So we've got some more golden snakes right here. Some kind of light shaft coming from way above. And if you think about the structure of the building that we're in right now, this is actually probably a big light shaft coming from very, very high up, which is kind of interesting. So anyway, here we go. We get a scroll, an alchemy scroll here. This teaches us how to create, really, speed potions again? Transmuters, shield, rage, anti-venom. I guess so. Speed potions again. So we already knew that. I actually didn't even remember that that was there. I'll say, for what it's worth, I think the design of this pyramid is awesome. I'm not going to be able to record all of this for you guys all in one session today. Actually, to tell you the truth, tonight is the night I play some Halo Master Chief Collection, and I've got some pizza ordered, so this is like such an impromptu recording. I'm just trying to squeeze it out before the guy appears downstairs with the pizza. But yeah, so we've got this really fascinating design, okay? First of all, we've got this room on the right, which is blocked off by a gate, and a teleporter behind it. Then, symmetrically, over here, we have the same deal. Then, as we progress further forward, again, it all remains very symmetrical. We've got a locked door with a mysterious-looking pattern on it. We've got another locked door with a mysterious-looking pattern on it. And what would appear to be 2 keyholes to get into these doors. Lastly, we come into here, and we find a bunch of trapdoors, a really complicated patchwork-looking room, and a gate on the far side. And I'll tell you, for maybe next episode, the goal of this episode and next, we're trying to get through that gate. That's like the ultimate end to this floor, okay? But first, how do we get there? How do we lift these up? Well, we do have 2 teleporters. One on the right that says the Tomb of the Highborn, and one on the left that says the Tomb of the Forgotten. Kind of 2 very contrasting ideas there, highborn person and a forgotten person. We've also, of course, got the trapdoor, which we can go down. Not only can we go down it, we can climb down it. We've got this rope now. So all we have to do is right-click the rope, and in we go. And we just landed on a skeleton as we came in. That's brilliant. Oh my god. Wow. Okay, hello. And there's apparently another one in here. So there's a couple of skeletons, nasties to meet us down here. Really very easy enemies to kill at this point in the game. Nothing too scary, actually, if you think about it. So I think they put you into a sense of false security, we'll say that much. But we landed on one of them as well. So if you don't have the rope, then that could have been even worse, you know. Here there is a small note down here we can read. John can read. "Is my measuring cord cursed? I go back and forth between this room and the one above, but I can't get my measurements to match." That's from Talfi the Surveyor. Curious, Lotopatho can hold that. Well, that doesn't really help us with the puzzle of lifting all of these things up, right? So all we've really got left are the teleporters. I will just point out that the skeletons can drop these skull cleaves. With good RNG, some of the early ones we beat way ages ago in the series could have dropped these as well, and this would have been a really nice heavy weapon for us quite early. At this point, though, it is worse than the Battle Axe, which is 10 to 30, while this thing is only 7 to 22. They do both have chop, though, which is the double damage dealing ability. we'll go back to our set with the torch. And of course, a helmet and a shield. You can get a lot of gear from those guys. So there was no reason to come down here except to find that note. Where do you guys want to go? We've got the Tomb of the Forgotten, or we've got the Tomb of the Highborn. Let's go on the left first. This was what I did on my original playthrough. And you'll notice we've teleported behind this gate we were looking at before. This teleport we saw, that was just to take us through. So maybe it's not as complicated as it first seemed. So we get this really nice kind of symmetrical structure to the pyramid here, where we've got the option of going left and dealing with loads of the wings on the left, or on the right and deal with the wings on the right. So what we'll do is the left first. This is where I started to get a little bit scared. And I mean, just the layout of this place feels so realistic to me. You get some really big open areas that don't even necessarily have many enemies and stuff in them. It just all feels very realistically done. So as we walk around, you'll notice there's various different things we can interact with. There are sarcophagi here. I believe that's the plural. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. And an embalmer's headpiece. So more embalmer's gear. Of course, we don't really care about this or want this. This is a gear set we're not dealing with. But I'll have it here to put back in the vault later on. An ornate hat worn by the conclave of Zaphi embalmers. So are these guys the Zaphi? That's a good point, really, isn't it? Maybe the Zaphi were the people who built the pyramid. We will find hieroglyphs and stuff on the walls that hint at this civilization. Here we get a pressure pad, which I'll talk to you guys about in a second. And otherwise, just sort of dead ends, right? Here's another pressure pad down here. A left and a right. Some mysterious door. Now, later on, this will open without you noticing, so try and remember it. I would mark it on my map, but I'm pretty comfortable with this. I was only just playing this last night. Here's some shuriken. I guess it's kind of weird that I pick up all the pellets, but not those, right? But I kind of assume eventually we're going to get firearms, and I'm going to want tons of ammo to just go crazy. That'd be so cool if there's like some insanely OP gun at the end of this game that gives you, that just has incredible rapid fire, and it's sort of a reward for people that didn't use firearms straight away. Okay, because they have all this ammo built up. Sandon is starving. I will give you some food, despite what I said at the start. I'll give you a measly mushroom. Screw the silver oats. You only get a mushroom. There you go. It'll tide you over for just a couple of minutes. Here we get another long corridor. This is our goal for now, which has got lots of closed trap doors. You might already see the concept here. We're going to try and put pressure on all of the pressure pads, thus opening up the doors. And what the hell is that thing? Oh my god. Knock your arrows, lads. Here we go. This is a cobra. These guys are really deadly. I definitely think that the idea is you should go to the ruins of Desruin before you come here to the pyramid. Especially if the ruins of Desruin... Oh my god. If the ruins of Desruin has more hints for you regarding how to actually enter the pyramid. But we're coming here for now, and I think we will be okay. The main issue is these guys do a lot of damage, but they do poison us. Funnily enough, poison is a bigger threat for me, at least I found, in here than it was even in the bog. So we're going to start trying to deal with that. Now, again, it was mudwort plus blood drop caps, okay? And that will allow you to get anti-venoms, which you can spread out among your party members. Loto Patho, I am expecting to shrug this off fairly quickly, but I'll just do that for now anyway. People have been mentioning as well, if I ever get injured, which these cobras do a lot as well, healing potions do cure injuries. I've been limbering around so much during this series, like as if they're these incredibly difficult things to get rid of. They're really not that bad, as long as you remember that, and I'll try and do that myself. Wow, that torch burned out so quickly. Here's a teleporter. This will just take us back upstairs, but we're not fully explored down here just yet. You will find a secret switch against one of the walls. Is that over here? Yeah, there's the secret that we want, guys. It's behind that gate, and I do remember collecting that. How did we get it? There was a secret button on one of the walls, I'm sure. They're not actually that difficult to see. I think they kind of went away from the design of having incredibly difficult... So basically the game becomes a situation of, hey, let's play Where's Wally? How dare, find these tiny little details on walls. I don't think that they eventually resorted to that. But definitely in this room, see, this gate opens if you do so. Oh, yes, okay, it's not a secret switch. So what we want to do is put a torch in this holder. This is a really classic kind of puzzle here. But this secret, to me, if you really think about the start of Grimrock, the whole franchise, the start of Grimrock 1, it all began with a puzzle where you had to put a torch into an unlit torch holder to open a door. And here we get that. This is the first time they've used that in Grimrock 2. And it's for quite a nice little secret. Here we've got another speed potion. I do intend to demonstrate those to you guys. For those of you who never played or didn't watch Grimrock 1. And here we've got some crossbow quarrels too. Well, that still doesn't help us with this other secret room over here. And I guess... oh, no, yeah, it did open this as well. What the heck? All right, here we go. We've got a note in this one. That is a map. showing us kind of an interesting image. Now, what does this look like to you? To me, this reminded me immediately of the shrine we saw on that island back outside, right? Well, maybe we should go check that out. And in fact, on my test file, that's immediately what I did. I'm not sure what a more appropriate time to do it would be. Actually, I do know what a more appropriate time would be. So it looks like there's something back out there, somewhere near the shrine. We won't have to bother with this just now, but try and remember it. It's a lot like the map we got before we got in the bog, right? This one here, outside of the castle. So, potentially some treasure somewhere. We'll just have to wait to see that. Anyway, so we'll head back upstairs. And our goal for now is going to be to get across this. I'm going to end the video there, though, guys. I'm so sorry. But the pizza's here, so short episode for today. Tomorrow will be a bit longer. I hope you guys have a great evening. I know I'm about to. And I guess I'll see you for more Grimrock very soon. As you noticed, by treading on that pressure pad, we opened one of these up. So should be pretty simple, but we'll see. Thanks very much, guys. Have a great day. I'll catch you next time.